Hey, thanks for watching. My name is Kate Madden, and this is a video about my 3-year journey in HRT. Other than what you saw in the thumbnail, there's not going to be any before and after photos, so if that's what you're here for, I'm sorry. But if what you're here for is to learn about what it's like to transition through HRT, the different physical, mental, kind of sexual changes that happen, emotional changes that happen through that timeline, then stick around and let's get at it. I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada. I live on the unceded lands of the Coastal Salish people, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to live, work, and play here in the area of the world that I grew up. It's my hometown, and I love it. A little bit about the channel, if this is your first time watching. I primarily try to focus on the trans experience based on my own lived experiences. I don't speak for every trans person at all. But based on my own lived experience, I'm trying to share kind of, what it's like for someone in their 30s, 40s, 50s to transition genders, who might be married, who's in a professional environment, who's someone of faith, who's got kids as a parent, and just try to share some kind of the things that I've gone through, I've learned, and really be a resource that I didn't think was there 3 years ago when I started this journey at 39 years old. If you haven't had a chance yet, or maybe you've watched a couple of my videos, please take a minute to like and subscribe. It does mean a lot, and it tells me I'm doing a good job and that you like what you're seeing. Last week marked 3 years on hormone replacement therapy. It's been a wild journey, and ultimately it's probably been the best journey that I've ever been on, and I'm so grateful that I took that leap of faith, even though I had no idea what to really expect. I wasn't certain at all anything would turn out well, but I took a jump out of the plane and figured out how to put my parachute on the way down. Medically, yeah, like they're just some little pills, but they've changed everything in my world. And I kind of compare it to running on the right fuel now. So yeah, I take estrogen, estradiol, whatever it's called. I'm on 8 milligrams a day. Started at 2 and just kind of worked up from there. I also take cyproterin as a blocker, testosterone blocker. I have been on Spiro before, spironolactone, naloxone. It had no effect on me at all, but the Cipro does. I was on progesterone for about 2 years. I haven't been on it for about a year. I don't notice much of a difference with and without it. Some people swear by it. I haven't really missed it physically or mentally. One of the things I want to be really clear about over the last year, it's 2021 and kind of coming hopefully to the tail end of the COVID era, or maybe just the start, I don't know. But at any rate, the last 12, 13 months we've been dealing with lockdowns and that sort of thing. And I relocated cities, and I've dealt with periods of underemployment and unemployment. And as a result, that's impacted my financial capacity to manage my adherence to drugs. So, I'm looking at about $200 a month in total cost for my medication. And I had no benefits. I lost my benefits about just over a year ago. And so one of the things I started doing was rationing out my drugs. And this is something I'm sure I'm not the only one who's done it, but instead of taking 8 milligrams a day, sometimes I would take 4, I would take 6, I would take 2, just to kind of stretch it out so I had something in my system. I was trying to manage the half-life of the estrogen or the Cipro, and ultimately, manage my budget. So I know I'm not getting paid for a couple weeks, or I'm only getting paid a very small amount. And I would get one drug at a time, or I'd only get 2 weeks supply at a time, or something like that, and just kind of trying to manage that. So maybe my kind of results over the last year, and you hear me talk about there hasn't been a lot of change over the last year. Maybe that's a reflection of that. I don't know. At the same time, I also dealt with some mental health issues and added that to the pharmaceutical bill, antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds, and that's had an impact as well financially. And I think for me personally, like, I focus in on the estrogen and the antidepressant, and those are the two that I try to juggle and just try to keep in my system. Yeah, so I guess what I'm saying is take this all with a grain of salt, and I'm not a medical expert by any stretch, but I do kind of know my body, and I respond to my body. So I hope this helps and kind of gives you an idea of what to expect. So I kind of wrote down a list here of stuff. I watched a couple of my older videos just to kind of keep it consistent with things that I'd noticed then, with things I notice now, as well as any updates, any new changes. But yeah, like body temperature continues to be something that I struggle with, hot flashes. I actually try to manage my drug intake. I can tell when I need estrogen when my temperature starts to increase, and I'm like, okay. And it's usually when I'm playing around with my estrogen dosage that I notice that I'll get a hot flash. So the other thing that's interesting is when I talk about kind of my mental experience, you know, during those periods when I'm kind of trying to really ride the wave of estrogen, and I explain, you know, what's going on in my head in terms of just the kind of mishmash or blender of emotions, thoughts, and experiences going on. I've had a couple of girlfriends describe it as, I compare it, or when I've described it, they've said, oh, that sounds like PMS. So I don't know. I know some trans girls talk about getting a period. I don't experience that, but you know, if that's something you do, maybe put it in the comments below and kind of what your cycle's like or what, you know, your experience is like. On the subject of body temperature, you've looked at other videos of mine about timelines. I've talked about chills, and like these would be chills where I would just shake. The last time I got one of those, you know, if you catch a draft in the middle of the night is when I finally get them. It was about 6 months ago. Haven't had an issue with it since. I don't know what to think of that, but maybe it's being here in Vancouver. It's, you know, winter and the grass is green, it's 9 degrees. It's a coastal temperate rainforest, I don't know. So I'm talking about adherence to the drugs and kind of my pharmaceutical DIY experiment here. I did just have a blood test. I have maintained my regular blood tests over the last year, and my doctor, as of 10 days ago, said my levels are at that of a mid-cycle natal woman. So, you know, I'm doing all right. Like, it hasn't had that big of an impact on my levels. So, you know, that was reassuring to hear from him most recently. Hair loss is something I've noticed. Like, I'm shedding, but like I'm not losing hair, obviously. Like it's my hair has grown over 3 years. It's been about three and a half years since I've been to a barber. So, you know, I've had 3 haircuts since then, you know, just to kind of trim the dead ends, but I haven't really experienced any growth in hair in the temples. Like, it's just kind of stayed the same. But what did happen was a bald spot grew in the back, which was really cool. I had a very big bald spot back here, and it's disappeared. But yeah, like I am losing hair. Like, I can see hair on the floor, and I don't know what that means. Someone told me that the estrogen is pushing out the testosterone hair, so I don't know. I have some friends who are expert hair people, and maybe they can comment on that down below. I don't know. Curves continue to curve, so that's nice. Hips, thighs, my butt, like it feels good. You know, it's there for sure. You know, and that was one of the first impacts of HRT that I noticed, was that like my jeans filled out, my butt kind of got bigger, but yeah, it's just kind of cool. I like it. Clothes look good on me, like they fit, so that's nice. You know, boobage, whatever, it's there. I'm kind of, you know, it's, I'm not going to show you, but I've got breasts, not big ones, but I've got breasts. I'm not, I've seen some people who like explode, you know, but I haven't, and that might just be a result of my age. So, but I'm not unhappy. Like, I feel like my breast development is in line with my body physically, and I look proportioned, which, you know, is good, it's fine. Like, things don't look strange on me, or they're not ill-fitting. And you know, I don't have back pain as well, so that's something that I'm okay with where I'm at. 38C, I guess, is my bra size, if you want to know. You just noticed I just stood up. I was in yoga pants. I wear leggings a lot. It might be COVID, but I'll wear leggings in public now. Shrinkage has continued unabated. Atrophy has occurred down there. I don't really need to tuck. I don't tuck per se anymore. It's just, there's no need. So yeah, I'll wear leggings. This past summer, I went out to the beach in a swimsuit for the first time in public. Like, I've gone swimming before in my swimsuit, but it was like, you know, in a rented pool with a community group, a trans group back in Calgary. My girlfriend and I are going swimming this weekend apparently, some winter swimming, so I'll be putting on a bathing suit in the next couple days. So maybe check me out on Instagram, because I'm sure I'll have a picture up there. In the last 6 months, I've had 3 erections. And by erections, I mean like, yeah, very floppy, not really there. Like, you know, having sex with my penis, like, it feels good, but like I don't need to use it to orgasm, and in fact I don't with it. It's just, it's there, and I'm not afraid to use it. I'm not grossed out by it. My dysphoria with regards to my genitalia has disappeared entirely, and I think that also reflects in my relationship with my partner as well, and something that I have come to really like and enjoy. So emotionally, things are stable, I guess, you know, like mental health. Really? There we go. No more alarm. Mental health. So emotionally, it's stable. Like, I mean, mental health in 2020, I think a lot of us are dealing with stuff, and you know, depression entered my life for the first time, at least the diagnosis of depression. I'm sure I've been depressed in the past. But my anxiety attacks disappeared by and large over time. So, you know, I've talked a lot about anxiety over the last 3 years, and it's there. Like, I mean, I can certainly feel it, but it's not at the intensity, or it doesn't have the physical impact that it has had in the past. So I thought that's been kind of nice. I'm going to do a depression update, kind of 6-month depression update, one of the next 2 or 3 videos. I think I'll talk about that, not, you know, for attention, but to normalize it. It's something that I am amazed. Like, I've never received so many messages about a video as the one I did on mental health about 6 months ago, and just, you know, talking about my depression. But they were all in private. They're all DMs, and not a lot of public comments, but it's something a lot of folks are dealing with, and I thought that was really interesting. And so yeah, I want to normalize that it's there, and a lot of us are dealing with it, and here's some of the things I'm doing to deal with that. So I won't go too much into detail mental health wise, but I think being on HRT, being hormonally stable, or kind of stable through the last couple of years, helped me deal with the depression in a way that I would not have been able to deal with had I still been, you know, full testosterone. You know, so yeah, HRT has been amazing. It's changed my life, changed kind of how I approach things, the way I feel things in all sorts of capacity. It's not like it's made me more emotional or anything like that. Like, I'm not crying at commercials on TV, for example, like I know some people do. But I think ultimately what it's helped me to accomplish after 3 years is just a sense of comfort in my own skin. And I'm here, I feel normal, I feel like boring, and I'm just kind of living my life and dealing with all the things every other woman is dealing with in her 40s, and that's awesome. I think my focus on surgery has changed as well over the last few years. When I started transition, I was certainly very focused on surgery. You gotta get bottom surgery, or rather, I gotta figure out if I want bottom surgery. And I've jumped through all the hoops. It's just I'm in the waiting line, and who knows how long it'll take. A year, 2, 3, I don't know at this point, and that's fine, because I found that sense of comfort, and the dysphoria has certainly lessened. I will get bottom surgery whenever it's my turn, but I haven't had any surgery of any kind physically. No, I'm okay with that. Like, it's not keeping me up at night. It doesn't bother me. So, who knows what'll happen, how long it'll take, but I think just being comfortable and having that sense of normalcy has helped me to deal with just the waiting that we have to do as trans people. And always make sure your phone is fully charged when you go get your blood test. That's all I gotta say, or the doctor. To that point about feeling comfort in my own skin, I think one of the most interesting things over the last year, and maybe it's part, the lockdowns we've been doing, spending a lot of time on my own, spending a lot of time indoors, feeling kind of disconnected from other people or other things. I've noticed like this separation between, and I've always believed and taught that gender identity and gender expression are two very different things. But I've never felt that more keenly than I have over the last year. And it's kind of been really liberating, actually. And to that point, I mean, like, I've really kind of come to understand trans liberation. It's not about assimilation. It's not about passing as cisgender. I'm not a cis person. I'm a trans person. And so, I don't mind being clocked anymore, as long as it doesn't impact my safety. It's something, I am trans, and I don't go out of my way to talk about it or volunteer information, out in public with strangers or what have you. But yeah, if someone clocks me, great. You know what? I'm living my life, and I'm living my best life, and I'm at the bar, I'm at the coffee shop, I'm at the hockey game, I'm at the park, wherever I am, I'm at the beach. I'm living my life, and I think that experience of living fully as a trans person in public, without shame, without fear, has been transformative, and has been, absolutely liberating, completely freeing of, that need for surgery or things like that, or, just being able to fuck around with gender. Like, gender fuckery is something that I've come to appreciate and respect. And here I am. I'm not dolled up. I just finished work. I've been on video all day, like 6 hours of video today. This is me. Like, there's nothing. This is what you get now, and I love that. So yeah, that's all the news that's fit to print, really, about my 3-year update. I wanted to get something out there before it got too far from my 3-year anniversary, which was last Tuesday, I think it was. Yes, last Tuesday. And just say happy anniversary to me. Thank you for watching the last couple of years. My transition is basically here on YouTube. I hope it's helped. If it has helped and you're still watching, please take a moment to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video. Let me know what you think, and I'm very, very grateful for all your messages of support and comments of support, and I look forward to making more videos to come. Have a great day, and as always, here's to life.